ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe.
Yeah, don't worry about it. When you get older, it gets way harder. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Legends 2020 Spider-Man Vintage Collection Wave Spider-Man. Try to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. And while you're down there, please go ahead and give this video a like and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Let's get to 1 million subscribers, huh? And a big thank you to Rivera94 for helping make this review possible over here. I did buy these at a premium and I appreciate the connection so I can get these videos up early. Really appreciate it, brother. Check them out. Link in the description below. And nice vintage collection packaging over here. I'm actually kind of digging it now. At first I didn't really like it so much. Comparing it to the Pizza Spidey right here, I just wanted to show these two off side by side. So yes, the old Spidey, and now we have a new Spidey. And then for another comparison, I have an actual vintage Spider-Man figure. Thank you. I can't remember your name off the top of my head. I'm really happy to have this and I can compare these two side by side. But anyway, you can see Spider-Man right over there. It says superposable action on the back. You can see this Toy Biz inspired head swap diagram right there. There's a read up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. There's the other figures from the wave. And then nothing on the side, top, or bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. So our new Spider-Man figure comes with 2 interchangeable heads, and we get 2 sets of interchangeable hands, plus a coffee stain. And I should clean up around here, but I'm having too much fun with my Spider-Man figures. Now these look fine. There's nothing to really complain about these hands. I'm glad that we have fisted hands and thwipping hands, but I really wish we'd gotten wall-crawling hands. The figure sorely needs it. I did use the wall-crawling hands from the MJ 2-pack Spider-Man figure, and that does fit in here okay. There's a little bit of a gap compared to how the thwipping hand looks right there. So, you know, it's a minor grievance. I wish we did have the wall-crawling hands. But yeah, luckily if you have that MJ 2-pack set, then you could use the hands from that. I did see Rivera use the wall-crawling hands from an Ultimate Spider-Man figure. I believe that'll work as well. Give that a shot. But yeah, these have been my go-to. So if you go back and look at images of Spidey from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon and you compare those images to this figure over here, well, you're going to realize that, yeah, this is more of a Steve Ditko head sculpt right here, which I think is very cool. I am glad that they did this. I do have a slight imperfection on his left eye right there that does bother me. You can see there's just a little bit of black where the white should be. This left side looks a whole lot better, and the cobweb pattern does look very good. I like it. Kind of like the Pizza Spidey, there's a slight difference in tone of the red just due to the different plastic, but I think this looks pretty smooth for the most part. I can't really complain. I do like that. And then looking at the other head sculpt, you can see this is definitely a John Romita Sr. Spider-Man head sculpt design. I mean, really, yeah, that's Romita Sr. all the way, which I think is great. Man, I really love that they went with this head sculpt. This is my favorite head sculpt for the figure. I really like this a lot. I am noticing minor imperfections, just the way the cobweb pattern lines up right over here. It's not dead center, just a very minor thing with this little white streak right over there. So minor things to complain about, but I really dig it, man. And you can see a little gap right over here in the back of the neck. I'll go over the articulation more in a little bit. And then you can see that we do get this weird thing going on with the vertebrae over here on his back. That's weird, or on his neck anyway. I don't like that sculpt. That does not look realistic. And then the back has this weird splotching thing going on with the red paint, but I just noticed it recently. I had a lot of fun taking pictures of it without noticing that, but it's there. And then you can see that we get some clean deco on the front. I like the Spidey logo. The cobweb pattern looks really good. I do appreciate how the red is fairly consistent throughout on the figure. I like that, even though I can tell a slight difference between the lower torso and the upper torso, but it's a very, very subtle difference in the red. When you move this back, you can see that the cobweb pattern goes all the way through. Great musculature over here. I really like that. then the back looks pretty good. A little gappy when you move this around, but it doesn't bother me. And same thing when you pull this back. The cobweb pattern goes all the way through, so I do like that. Nice matted red paint over here too. I really like that a lot. There's your new Spider-Man butt, and then we get these legs from the Sunfire body mold, and I really do like how these look. So great looking legs right over here, and then great looking cobweb pattern right here on the red plastic again, and he does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet. So we do have some awesome things going on with the articulation on this figure. However, I will say I don't know how excited I am over the neck articulation over here. Yes, they did give us this slit right here on the neck and the back, as we saw earlier, and it does have a dumbbell joint thing going on. So when you pop this off, you can see that we get a ball peg on each side. So that does allow that to move farther back. Utilizing that and getting him to look up as far as I can without popping the head joint off. I don't know if he looks farther up that much more than the Pizza Spider-Man figure. I don't know. He's kind of crunching just a little bit forward at the abs, but they're both kind of looking up the same amount right over here. Looks like he's getting a little bit more range of motion, but it's not that much of a difference, and there's no gappage over here. So I kind of prefer this system over this system, because from certain angles you could definitely see some weird gappage. So I hate to complain about it, because I love that you can pose him around a lot, but it is there, and you can move the head downward that much. You can turn side to side, and he does have good head pivoting, so that's really awesome. I love these butterfly joints. They go all the way back, and they do go forward a bit, especially if you have this shoulder joint rotated forward. I do have some scuffing going on the inside of this shoulder joint, not so much with this side, but mostly on just that side, which is really weird because, you know, I've been playing with it on both sides. Anyway, you get the butterfly joint, shoulder moves outward that much and down all the way, full 360 rotation, bicep swivel. Great double jointed elbows. Actually, not that greatest double jointed elbows, and I believe these are Sunfire body mold double jointed elbows. We'll check in a second. All the wrists turn side to side and hinge up and down. You do get a great diaphragm joint that has some great rotation side to side. Amazing diaphragm pivot. I really like that. And then he does move forward at the diaphragm and back. And then you also get a waist crunch forward. So with both of those joints, he'll crunch forward that much. And then both joints back, he'll go back that far, which is awesome. And then he does have legs that move outward that far. He will kick forward this much and back that much. And he does have drop down legs, as you may already see from over here. The right leg is shifted down. Well, there you go. You get them both shifted down and it'll look like that. What's cool about these compared to the Beast drop down legs is that you can move them independently. With the Beast, I felt like you had to grab both legs and yank down, but this one you could move them independently from each other, which is really cool. I like that a lot. Anyway, you get an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, calf rotation, ankles move down. They do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out this brand new Spider-Man figure, you can see that he is standing just a little under the 6.5 inch mark. Then we have our brand new superposable Spider-Man next to the Pizza Spider-Man figure, and I do like how this one is just a little bit taller. I mean, dude, just look at the sculpts between these two. I mean, this is the better figure, obviously, right? I mean, this is a good younger Peter Parker, but as far as Spider-Man goes, Spider-Man in his prime, this is the figure, man. This is the winner right over here. I love this Spider-Man figure. Now, a very cool thing here is that Hasbro's made it so that you can swap the heads, and wow, that is kind of funny looking. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, that's not really the best. But what's really cool though is that if you still have your half unmasked Spider-Man head, you can port it on here and you can have a pizza eating Spider-Man, which I had some fun taking images of him with this head sculpt on here. So that's cool that that works out. And you can get your regular Peter Parker head sculpt on here too. That looks really good, even though his neck looks a little on the stumpy side, but I gotta say this works out well for me. I do like this. Of course, I had to see how the half Peter, half Spider-Man head sculpt looked on here from the Peter Parker figure, and that works out perfectly. Sorry I had to look at this goofy looking Spidey that whole time. But yeah, I just think this is a very cool Spider-Man figure. I'm very happy that they made the heads compatible. And to make it clear once again, you cannot put the hands from Pizza Spidey onto this figure. They have this weird notch thing going on in the hand joint peg right over there, and yeah, that's going to keep you from being able to port that onto this figure. Then here's our new vintage collection Spider-Man next to a Tom Holland Spider-Man figure, and then we have the PS4 Advanced Suit Spider-Man, which is using the Sunfire body mold, and so is this one. Well, parts of it anyway. You can see the legs are the same, so I was right about that. And it does look to me that they did take the arms and use them on this figure as well. And the upper torso is cut in a very similar way to this figure. See these lines right over here? It's kind of the same cut shape that we're seeing on this one right over here. So I have a feeling that they had retooled this mold to make this one. Plus you have the two dots on the back of the neck, similar way that we have this one right over here. So not the same exact mold, but very identical, and not enough to give me that much crap for it over at the New York Toy Fair coverage footage, because I remember that, you buttholes. But I was wrong. This is new. This is different. Oh, and you guys asked for a head swap for these two. And yeah, this looks pretty good on the PS4 figure, I think. You know, it looks better than this head sculpt. This one's just kind of big and boxy, so this works out okay. The neck looks a little long, but yeah, not bad. I do see this as an upgrade. Let's see how that head joint looks. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, see what I'm saying right here? When you get the head looking all the way up on this figure, it's actually better than this one right over here. Or even using one of the heads that came with the figure, you could see this one will look up farther than that one, right? So yeah, I hate to complain about an awesome figure, but hey, facts are facts. No gappage or anything on this either. I don't know, I'm just happier with this head joint system. Then here's our new vintage collection Spider-Man next to some old Toy Biz Spider-Man figures. We have the J. Scott Campbell / Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, and then we have the Sinister Six Spider-Man figure right over here. These are my two favorite designs. Then here's our new vintage collection Spider-Man next to a Mafex Spider-Man right over here, which stands just a little bit taller than this vintage collection figure, which is shorter than the Mezco 112 collective figure, which has a little bit of red missing right over there. But yeah, man, there's something about this right here. Once you're posing it around and playing with it, you get to this next level of fun that reminds me of an import figure. I'm serious. Like, when you're posing this figure around, you're gonna feel like you're posing around a Mafex or an SH Figure Arts figure. There's that level of dexterity with this guy. And then here's our new Spider-Man figure next to my pounds 978 big time classic Spider-Man. And you can see that this big time body mold is just a little bit shorter than this new figure.
Spider-Man party, yeah! Nice whip shooters. 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 I can't shut these off!
And then here's Spidey next to the MJ 2-pack figure with the new MJ head sculpt on there, which is never leaving this body mold again. I have to resist the urge to get every Spider-Man villain out here for size comparisons, but just comparing this new Spidey figure next to my top two favorite Spider-Man villains, we have the Hasbro Doc Ock and the Hasbro Deluxe Eddie Brock Venom. Ooh, if you can guess which one is my favorite Spider-Man villain, I'll heart your comment. And then here's Spidey next to one of his dads. We have the Stan Lee figure from the MCU. If you were to see another human character in action figure form, who would you want it to be? My vote is Jack Kirby. I can't stop with the size comparisons. Somebody help me, but I had to compare this Spider-Man figure next to some other Hasbro Marvel Legends figures that I think just nailed the character's likeness to what I would like to see in action figure form. We have the Hulk from the 2-pack. We have Deadpool. And then we have the 80 Years Iron Man, and then here's Wolverine from the Juggernaut wave. Then here's the Vintage Collection Spidey next to the only other two figures from this wave that I've already reviewed. We have Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. And one thing I forgot to mention in my Gwen Stacy review is that if you squeeze her legs together, she makes a snapping sound. And then here's our new Vintage Collection Spider-Man next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Badass Spider-Man. Hey brother. Man, I used to feel like a letdown, and then I got this cool upgrade over here, but now I look at you and I don't feel that badass anymore. I feel like I'm kind of a letdown. At least it was the cool Hulk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Come on, you guys, we gotta hit that 1 million subscribers. And a big thanks to all the people over here that support this channel over on the crowdfunding. These figures were not cheap for me to pick up, so that really goes a long way. Plus, they got to watch this video a day earlier than you, which is a cool perk if you're interested in something like that. Link below. Now, this figure looks awesome, especially if you add some spaghetti webs, and I really like it a lot. What else can I say, man? I've had a lot of fun with this thing. It looks great on a Mafex stand right here. I am just blown away by it. To me, at this point in time, this is the best Spider-Man figure you could buy on the market. I can't think of what else to say. I'm just very happy with this figure, and at the price point around 20 to 25 bucks, I'm giving this Spider-Man figure a Sud rating of... please. And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, be sure to check out marvelousnews.com, and if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
Shamus Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.